Why am I drawing a blank? Because I knew him.
Rudy, K9YQJ?
Yeah, Rudy, yep. So I used to hang out with them a little bit. I was going to Michigan Tech, and I'd come down and spend a weekend with John at his trailer. And we'd get on 2-meter sideband, and yeah. Yep. And then there was another guy. He was a police officer, and he was a ham. And I think he was from Aurora, maybe? Somewhere over that way. And we picked him up one day. We were on our way to the Waukesha Hamfest. First time was in 90, let me think here now, 89, 90, or 88, 89. So it would have been 1990, January 1990, we picked him up, and I can't remember his name, but I came down from Houghton with John or N8HLH, or N8HZH, and we picked up, what's his name, he was a police officer, and he lived in Aurora, or I think somewhere over that way, maybe somewhere in that direction. And we picked him up, and then he came with us on a road trip to the Hamfest. And I wish I could have he was a lot of fun. I wish I could have remembered who that was.
This is the K9GB repeater.
Nothing wrong with a cop being a lot of fun. I'm good with that. Yep. So yeah, 77 first license, and then I think I upgraded 84, 85 to November Tango 9 Bravo NT9B, and then it was like probably 2003. I went to the vanity call of Whiskey 9 Daniel Lawrence Diamond.
I remember that call, NT9B.
That was probably me. I don't think it was the guy in Arizona.
Yeah, so I probably bumped into you at some point in there, as I got my license in 84. 83 is when I bought the HR-10B, and I got my license in 84.
I never told you the punchline. I just, I just recently, within the last couple of months, got rid of my HR-10B, my original novice receiver, and that DX60. And I gave it to a buddy of mine, K8NB, Noel, in Stevenson. Used to be WD8 DON. But it's K8NB now, and I gave him a couple of nice pieces of radio equipment, and he gave me like a boatload of QST magazines, which I've only got 3 boxes left to slice up and pull all the good articles out of. So, yeah, good times. I'm a few more years here. Should be, should I decide to do it, be QCWA X2.
Yeah, in 27. Yeah, I know Noel. So, Mr. Beardsley. Yep. Wow, so he has that now. Interesting. Yeah, I never had let's see, I did have a DX, was it a DX40? Somewhere along the way I had a DX40 with the matching VFO. Yeah, I think it was a 40. I don't think it was a 60. I think it was a 40, but I don't remember. It was one or the other, but I had the matching VFO with it, and that was given to me by Ken up in Lance. Ken Smith, I forget his call though. That was back in the 80s. And I played with that for a little while. KB0P.
KB0P, W9DOM. Yep. Roger that on Noel. And before I gave him my last batch of gear, before that I gave him HW16 which I have personally heard on the air since I gave it to him. And he also got the, what is it, VR10 or V something 10 VFO to go along with it. So, yeah. I tell you what, man. I can't keep up with this modern technology. I can just barely keep up with the old technology. So we'll just see how it goes here in life. Almost Happy New Year. Back to you, Paul.
So if you look at that picture of my Minnesota station, it's so dark. You know, I can't go back in time to retake it. But anyway, so I think that was taken with a film camera probably, and I didn't know it was that dark. So I have a set of Heathkit twins there with the matching station speaker in between, and I had the solid state receiver though, so it was the 313 receiver as opposed to the 303, if I remember right. It was a 313, but it had the 40, is it 403 or 401? I don't know. Anyway, wasn't it the 301 and the 401 that was the set? And then the solid state was the 313 or something. Same, it looked identical receiver, except it was solid state as opposed to tube. But the transmitter was still a tube transmitter. And I used that on the air for a while, and then eventually I sold it to a ham in Minnesota, Bill. But that was a nice setup. Those rigs were clean, and I really enjoyed it. I check into the UPNet a lot with those, and I really enjoyed operating those rigs.
I'm seeing your history, and I see 1, 2, 3, 4, but I'm not sure of the 1991 one, or I don't see a dual twins thing there, but I'm interested in your number 5 picture. Hang on one second. That looks like an ICOM. You're sitting there in the gray tank top with a big old transmitter to the side, something or other. But it looks like, boy, that sure looks like an ICOM 745 in your 5th picture on QRZ.
Okay, so the 6th picture, the 2001, that's really dark. You can see on the top row of my shelving unit there, that's the Heathkit twins with the speaker in between. And then I got my HQ129X next to that, and then on a separate table I got my 2 transmitters. That table is a homemade table I made just for that. By the way, I still have that table. And it's still holding an HQ129X. But that was my Ishpeming picture. That was before I moved to Minnesota. The 2000 picture was Minnesota. That's a 751A. So that's my ICOM 751A. That was my first solid state rig. So I had a 520, the first ham rig I ever had. In the first picture, 85, that's my 520 homemade antenna tuner, Drake watt meter. And then on the bottom shelf of that table, I have a RT68, which is a old Vietnam radio that would cover 38 to 55 megahertz. And I had to build a power supply for it and everything to get it to work, external speaker. It had an external meter so that you could tune in stations. It was like a what do you call that meter, so you can tell if you're on frequency. I forget now. But anyway, that was a big, huge honking rig, and it had a carbon microphone, and every once in a while you had to wrap the microphone on the table to loosen up the fibers so people could hear you, because the fibers are starting to tighten up, and then your voice would get raspy. So that was my first picture, a CDR rotor, and a whatever that microphone was, a Shure microphone. So that was my desk in my bedroom when I was in high school. But yeah, that's a ICOM 751A. That was my first digital rig because I had the 520 and then I had the 101E double E, and so I always had two finals up until I got that 751.
Nice. Well, I can see the point in history where you got some good taste going on. Yep, my first solid state ICOM 746. No, not a 746. I'm sorry, 745. 745. Bought it with my bonus check in the mid 80s, 85, 86. 745. Went on to get a 271 and some other stuff, but boy, I bow down in homage to somebody that had a 751. Oh, that's like the big rig.
This is the K9GB repeater.
Yep. Yeah. I noticed a lot of these pictures are dark. Oh well. My screen's tilted, that's why. Okay, never mind. You can see in the 2004 picture, that's Ishpeming. I'm back to Ishpeming again after Minnesota. And bottom row, you can see my 520, the matching tuner. And then I had the matching speaker or something next to that. I had a nice station there, and I sold that to a guy in Minnesota. Eventually, he drove over and picked it up. He's still using it today. There's part of me wishing I would have kept that. That was a nice radio. But, oh well. I need to put some new pictures on here because I've moved since Henry Street, so I moved into a house now. I was renting there. So I got to get my stuff, get a new picture put on here, and then I got to put a picture of my glowworm TNT 1929 transmitter I built. I got to put a picture of that in here. And it looks like I need to update my QRZ page. KB0P.
I am a lifetime member of the mighty Midwest Glowworms using a homebrew 1929 oscillator, Hartley oscillator with a 27 Cunningham tube. No, that picture's in there. And boy, I sure wish I had my 745. I missed that radio so bad. Darn thing got hit by lightning though. Just vaporized it and the power supply and my 271 2-meter rig. So boy, I sure appreciate this little bit of time travel. I thought you had to go there, old man. Still not holding you up, I hope. W9DLN.
No, well, I'm still sitting here in the sunroom. The sun's not out anymore. And my wife's talking to our daughter. Our daughter lives in Nashville, so they're in the living room talking. And so I think I might go down to the ham shack now. And I got a new, I traded a guy a D104 microphone for it. Not the one in the picture, but a different one. But I got a new is it Hell? No. What is it? The microphone. Anyway, I got a new microphone, so I want to get that thing hooked up. So I got to do that. And then I'm going to figure out what we're going to do for supper here. Uh-oh. I just remembered I had brownies in the oven. Okay. Good thing the oven's on a timer and it shuts off. I would have burnt them. So I got to figure out what we're going to do for supper here. I might make supper too, so I like to cook. So, all right, we'll talk to you later, Dan. KB0P.
Be around. Thanks, Paul. Again, great conversation. Yeah, get those brownies out before they burn. 73 W9DLN, Crivets, Wisconsin, listening. 147, 12.
W9DLN, K0RPL. out of Fleet Farm. But I'm a block from home. Whereabouts are you in Crivet? Spent a lot of time up that way.
Right on the western edge of town. Northwest, I'm about 200 blocks or 200 feet from the village limits, northwest side of town.
Okay. Parents used to have land on not far from the intersection of 26th Road and Parkway. Their address was Beaver. They were right on Parkway Road. And then my uncle had land on Schramm Road, if you know where that is.
Thanks, Justin. Yeah, I got phone ringing now. I got wife screaming at me. And, and it sounds like you're almost home, so I got to say 73 for now. I'll be listening after things quiet down. K0 RPL, W9 DLN.
No problem. Just pulling into my driveway, 7-3. W9 DLM, K0 RPL.